there's a way to make an entrance.
This is my destiny.
It was now a conspiracy of witches.
Download Veely today.
I'm Sarah Richardson. This is Didem. This is Didem's kitchen. And this is what Didem's kitchen looks like now, thanks to some help from Design Inc. I'm about to meet Didem, who has a small, narrow kitchen. Let's hope she's wide open to some new design ideas. Hello!
How are you?
And who are you?
He's Bailey.
Oh my goodness! Oh, you're adorable! Okay, so let's start with your kitchen. You lead.
Perfect.
You lead. I follow. Any thoughts, any wishes, any dreams about what this would look like in a new incarnation?
How long of a show? Love marble. Love painted cabinets. Love dark walnut, black walnut, which is our dining table.
Okay.
We're absolutely in love with that.
I don't suppose you've been dreaming about moving the stove somewhere other than middle of the wall?
And the sink has seen better days.
Talk to me about appliances, actually.
Stainless steel.
Could I want for anything more? Yes.
Dying to have a gas cooktop and
Gas,
an electric
okay.
oven. You know, my husband and I have different ideas in terms of what we want out of the kitchen, so coming to a compromise about that is going to be a challenge.
And what does Simon say?
Pretty much any scheme, as long as it's well pulled together, would be fine with me.
So, who's gonna make the decisions?
It's all up to you.
Okay. Oh, you're so difficult. Now, what about the cozy room?
I call it our sofa of shame.
Your sofa of shame.
No shame in tossing this relic. We'll make this a room to be proud of.
Might our dreams be coming true?
We're gonna try.
Well, this even has Bailey excited. We need someone to help us out who's just as pumped, like Jessica.
Anyone who really knows me a bit of a klutz. These are all of Didem's dimensions for her kitchen. Washed away.
Okay, we can slow down a bit. In Didem's narrow galley kitchen, storage is very important. So the plan is to include a run of cabinets and a gas range along one wall, and to redo the existing cabinets on the other side. But before Didem's dreams become reality, we have to tear out this very real kitchen. Veto's on the case.
Oh, you guys are plugged in! I've never seen anybody work so fast.
This all seems too good to be true. In fact, to get to this point required a lot of tough decision-making. And Didem was not completely at ease with those decisions.
I'm gonna just take a leap of faith, I think, and just go with it. I don't know, I'm willing to give it a shot for the time being.
No pressure to perform here.
I kind of feel like if your kitchen is on display from the second you walk in the front door, there has to be some impact. I was thinking about, could we do some color? She's mentioning wood, so we could do some wood, but I was wondering, could we do lacquer in a really dramatic color? Like, could we do, like, almost like the color of your shirt? Like, when I see it, I see it's more restaurant. Like, it's lined up like a subway car.
Yeah.
And but yet with a softness and color palette.
Texture. I love that, and I think it's really appropriate to the space, and it's going to be fantastic.
Cafe restaurant, like small, like.
Yeah, and can we roll that cafe part into that sunroom, back room?
So let's start with colors. Let's get some sample boards. Let's take a look at the floor plan. We're good to go.
Okay, sounds good.
Chocolate sounds like a delicious starting point. Now to get some measurements.
Giving you some high fives.
And Val's right on time.
That is a fantastic color.
They call it clove dust. I call it mocha. We're just trying to max it out. I mean, basically it's gonna end up being galley. Lay the sink across from the stove, the microwave across from the fridge, and we'll have some nice counter space in between. Here, we wanted to put a wine rack. We want to keep it tight. We don't want to do extra deep counters. Standard 25.5 deep. And then we thought this one should just be floating.
Center to the wall.
Yep.
So I just quickly did up a couple of boards along the lines of what would be sort of a soft cafe au lait mocha.
Okay. I do like this backsplash. I wonder whether Didem will find it a little contemporary.
Well, that's the thing about it. And the thing about Diden and Simon is that Simon's a little bit more contemporary and she's a little bit more classic. So this is a much more contemporary design, yet natural materials.
So imagine if clove dust is your
Softer.
base, Imperador gold is your counter, and then move up to a light creamy tone for the main cabinetry. And she's gonna come back from her trip and say, "What?"
She did say.
It's all up to you.
Okay.
Now it's up to Jessica to find that floating cabinet,
Sorry.
while trying to steer clear of any bumps along the way.
I'm so mean.
We have this great kitchen wall with no upper cabinetry. What I'd like to do is make a long one,
Okay.
floating on the shelf for great display.
I've got one just up at the front.
Size to fit Didem's wall, it'll be perfect.
Thanks so much, you were really helpful.
Just a few details left to discuss, but we've pulled together all of the elements we want to propose to Didem for her kitchen.
We're gonna hit her with the whole thing.
Okay.
We're probably gonna completely overwhelm her, but at least we'll be ready and say, okay, these are your sofa, these are your pillows, these are your drapes, these are your wall colors.
Now it's up to Jessica to pitch our ideas, and there's a lot to get through.
We had this done up for you, and it's a really beautiful sort of mocha color, and then have it sort of a lighter creamy color on the top. Would be really spectacular. This is a fantastic sample of what we were sort of thinking of for your countertop. Potential sink for you with a side spray and a soap pump. This sofa would be perfect for that back room. That would be done in this material. So this bench, this is where we thought a little bit of snakeskin might come in.
Or not. I guess Didem will have to think about it. And what does Simon say?
Looks good with him, actually. He accessorizes really well.
How did the meeting go?
The meeting went really well. Actually, here's the package that I gave to them with the quote for the kitchen. I left it with them to decide on, so keep our fingers crossed that everything's gonna go according to plan. Sarah?
Yes.
Can we talk about Didem?
Sure we can. I thought we just talked about
We did. And then I just got off the phone with her. They particularly did not like the olivey tone to the mocha cabinetry. They do not want the floating cabinetry.
Okay.
They are open to getting a microwave now. They want an even bigger sink. Now they're wondering if the uppers should not also be mocha.
Perfect. Yes.
And concerned about the depth of the sofa and do not want that snakeskin.
I think sure I'm the right designer for them.
When Didem said she'd leave all the decisions to us, our plan was to present everything to her when she returned from a 2-week vacation.
Mocha color.
It turns out she's not keen on most of our ideas. Our plan has gone to the dog.
What do you think? Eh?
Oh yeah, and then there's this.
This is really, really just not appropriate for a counter for a kitchen, especially
Super.
very porous, and so it will end up staining. So anyway, what's ended up happening is, upon further discussion, we decided to give them some other alternatives, which would be the Imperador Dark or the Imperador Light.
Right. My concern on this is we are wasting time. Yeah, you're. I care about your health. Choosing the counters is not the #1 priority right now because counters don't have to be bought and selected until this cabinetry goes in. It's been 3 weeks.
Now they're saying that
We
they
have
may...
gridlock.
This is just the part that really makes me nervous, is when you have to push a client into spending a certain amount of money, which doesn't come easily anyway, and you both have timelines that are a little bit different. It's gonna bother me now for the next day. It really will.
We need a lot of answers, so we're bringing everything to Didem, including the kitchen sink.
We brought you a
How are
seat.
you?
How are you guys?
Hi.
Why, Bailey?
What we really have to decide is, out of these 2 colors, which one do you prefer?
I think what I like about that one is the fact that it's a little lighter.
You see, I normally like colors that are sort of changeable. I mean, the reasoning, I guess, behind the clove dust versus the ferret brown is the clove dust can read more green, and other times it'll read more brown. Whereas when we move to this brown,
It's just brown.
it's just brown.
Actually, I love that. I think we're holding it.
Yay! Is it too early for champagne?
Didem loves the clove dust, but I'm gonna hold off on the bubbly until she's seen the kitchen sink.
That's a big sink. Don't tell me what you're thinking.
It's huge. That's half the kitchen. Jessica thinks that, it's going to look very original and stunning, and Simon, who is the primary user of the sink, thinks that it's going to be really functional. I'm willing to give it a shot for the time being.
For the time being? Now, let's join our demolished kitchen already in progress. This is rather therapeutic.
Come on out of the construction zone, Bailey.
I'm quite amazed. Everything came down in 15 minutes?
It's nice to see things moving.
I'm going to take particular satisfaction in watching those country kitchen tiles go. Because they have been debating my existence for
Really? Because we were gonna work them into the design. Actually, Sarah really likes them.
I'm with Didem. I can't stand those tiles. In the meantime, Jimmy's here to start the wiring, and Jessica's trying out her newfound math skills.
I just want to measure it and make sure it's dead center.
Yep, for sure.
And these are all in centimeters. How many centimeters a foot? 77.6. Our gables are 3.2. Don't you love a camera in your face when you're trying to do math and convert? It's not pressure at all. Wait a minute, new numbers. 80, 90. It's 72 over, and then you're right, it's 87.
Wait a second.
What happens if we're just a smidgen off?
Then we have to move it.
You know, when you're a kid, you're like, why am I doing this math? I'm not going to use it anyway. Yeah, right.
Phew! No brain cells harmed in the installation of the new outlets, only a knuckle.
See that thinking about every day?
Every day I give a piece of blood away. Piece of skin. This one was for Jessica.
Time marches on, and Didem's new kitchen cabinets have arrived. Now is the time to decide on new countertops. Understandably, Didem's not too sure.
It's hard to visualize paint colors without knowing the countertops and the backsplash.
Precisely the time for a designer to help client make up their mind.
When you see things coming, bit by bit, it can freak the client out all the time.
Not seeing what they see in their mind's eye, being able to kind of buy into something has been hard, but, they're designers, they know their stuff, and, leap of faith.
We want Didem's kitchen to be unique, but getting her to buy into our vision hasn't been easy. With cabinets and appliances chosen, we need her to commit to a counter, and a very expensive one, preferably in marble. And waffling's not allowed.
Wow.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Does that look like you?
Look at the cabinetry sample.
I think Didem will hate this. Right? The nice thing about this Botticino is there's a lot of movement on it. You get a little oil spot here, you're not going to notice it. Right? How do you feel about that, Didem?
Gorgeous. But this is the emperador.
No. How do you feel about this?
It doesn't have any of the whites.
This I like much better.
This is nice. It's a different direction. It's much cooler. My guess is that that husband of yours might like the fact that it looks a little bit like concrete.
Sorry, Simon.
I mean, it's a beautiful slab of Lagos. Would this still be number one choice?
But which is numero uno?
I'm feeling that the blue Venezia is the perfect hybrid because it has some of the properties of the Lagos blue, but it also has a more interesting kind of structure to it.
He has been pining over concrete for the longest time, so yeah, I think that is what he would pick.
It wouldn't be like anything
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
I really like it.
We're down to two choices.
I like this one too.
But which one do you like better?
So hard.
I just think that Simon would be thrilled. You could make his day by choosing something that looks a little bit like concrete but is far more beautiful than concrete.
The other one is then.
Woo! That's a decision!
We're going with the blue Venezia.
I brought you some food. I figure if I keep you fed, you'll stay here until it's done.
Gee, What was in that pizza?
Look at that. That looks great. And they like it?
They really like it. Yeah.
Phew. So what's the problem?
Everything is plumb, but the walls are not.
That's our only issue?
Turns out it's not our only issue.
Sarah,
Yes.
have you seen the email from Didem?
No.
Okay. So she took Simon up to the marble suppliers to look at the big, fabulous slab of blue Venezia that we had chosen.
That we all agreed on?
That we all agreed on. And he totally dislikes all the options.
What? Huh?
In the email, it says he's concerned about the bluish gray vein when it's honed because the slab is polished and so on and so forth. But also, P.S., remember, you're in a warehouse full of slabs under fluorescent lighting. It's like trying on a bathing suit under fluorescent lighting. Nothing looks good, you know? It's horrible.
That's the biggest warehouse I've ever been to. 400 different types of granite and marble. There's nothing in that warehouse that he likes. We're talking about almost $4,000.
Definitely.
In countertops, and I can't afford to have them be installed and then here. We don't like them, and we feel that you're responsible for them. They're going with something in a neutral palette. No matter what they select, I can make it work in this kitchen. But I'm not taking responsibility anymore, so I'm out. They have to choose their own counters.
On a brighter note, the appliances have arrived. The very big appliances.
The movers, whom I've never met before, I was very impressed with them because they clearly move these appliances daily. I think one of them had said that this was like the third fridge they had moved that day. Well, those fridges are 500 pounds.
Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon.
They were mighty strong guys.
There's more good news.
Let me introduce you to Didem's backsplash.
Have I seen it before?
Yes, you have.
Oh, yay!
Okay, so that's all right. And it gets even better.
The counter.
We've settled on the counter.
Yes, the blue Venezia it is. We're coming down to the wire. The painting's being finished and Jessica was able to talk Didem into the floating shelf. Let's hope it fits.
Perfect.
Bailey thinks so too. We've come a long way on Didem's kitchen. Now for the final push.
Didem's kitchen, counter delivery, and installation.
Installation.
Good morning.
Andrea is right. What a morning it is. Along with the sink, the blue Venezia counter has arrived and is being installed. Jessica has managed to stay in one piece.
Have I mentioned I've had 3 hours sleep?
Take 2.
And we still have a lot to do before we can call this job finished.
But can you believe all the people in here? It's all coming together. Typical designing. Tight spaces, lots of men. Everything was supposed to be completed in 3 days, but now it's being completed today. And so this morning, these lovely fellas put up the backsplash. Jim is on his back installing the hookup for the water and the faucet right now.
Add the rest of the Design Inc. team and we should have Didem's kitchen pulled together in no time.
This morning, the backsplash has gone in. We now just need to wipe down the whole entire kitchen. The sofa's coming in. We've got to clean up the back room and bring in the carpet.
Well, it's small, so we'll fan out and everybody can take a square foot or 2. This is the most stylish side spray I think I've ever seen. When you have a kitchen that is so visible from the living room and the dining room, it's really important to make sure that it is striking and it has a powerful impact, but also plays well into all the other elements that were here existing. The color palette that we used in his kitchen is a first for us. We've never had a client actually willing to go quite as dark as this.
I spend many nights kind of wondering, is this all gonna work? But it does.
Back sitting area it's such a big improvement. That was where Didem said she had her sofa of shame, and I think it is the tiniest room that often ends up
showcasing the best potential. And that's vinyl. No ostriches were hurt in the making of this vinyl. We didn't want to just have ho-hum run-of-the-mill appliances. We wanted true professional style, restaurant chic appliances. You know, they are on display from every other vantage point in this entire main floor. So that was really important. We decided that we really wanted the best of everything when it came to the details. So the most beautiful backsplash, the most unique counters, and I'm gonna say unique because I'd never seen them before. None of us had ever seen them before. And I think they were unique in the fact that they were the only counter that we could all finally agree on.
It has everything that I love about natural stone, so couldn't be happier.
I think that what we've showcased here is that by going with a really dramatic dark color, you actually can visually expand the space. And I think that this kitchen reads as being so much larger than it was before.
I realized that, you know, even though this is not the largest living space, it certainly is big enough to hold a real good party.